Good afternoon. Welcome into the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez-Clary with you today. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How's it going, man?
It's going all right.
How was the weekend?
It was pretty nice. So,
Did you do anything fun that besides hang with me and Nathan on Sunday?
I mean, I was with my kids and my wife, so yeah.
That was fun then.
It's always a fun time. Ellie's a weirdo.
What was the highlight of your weekend?
The highlight of my weekend. I don't know, man.
You have to be careful how you say that.
Yeah,
I mean, just think about it.
Honestly, probably the highlight of my weekend was probably just getting to go to a baseball game. It's been a while.
I would agree.
Not hanging with you guys, just going to a baseball.
Just going to a baseball game, being in the atmosphere. Yeah, that was enjoyable. Nebraska. We'll touch on Husker baseball. There's a lot to get to. Also, we need to talk about Husker softball because they're good.
What?
Husker softball is pretty good. 21-9 now overall, and they just took 2 games from Michigan, who is ranked in the top 20. So that's something to definitely watch for as they play Creighton tomorrow night, and then they host Rutgers in a weekend series on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we'll talk about them in a little bit, but first, we must do the pest of the weekend.
I recorded it, and
so we don't have it?
No, we don't. Unfortunately,
Rico,
it has the other sound
Rico,
on it.
I texted you.
I know.
At
I
1:40
was not doing anything. I was just sitting up there. That's on me.
Gee whiz.
It'll be done by next week.
Good. All right. So pest of the weekend.
Brought to you by Bats to Rats.
Sponsored by Bats to Rats. Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcome animals. Call Dane to help get rid of any bats or rodent problems at 402-310-0904 or go online at batstoRats.com. That's Bats to Rats, wildlife control and prevention. All right, Rico, go ahead.
My pest of the weekend is a twofer. It's Chris Rock and Will Smith. They are both menaces to the Oscars society.
Okay, explain.
Well, Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife.
Yep.
About how she doesn't have hair on her head, so he's saying he was excited for G.I. Jane 2, because apparently in G.I. Jane she shaves her head or something. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know about that, but so he made that joke. Will Smith laughed at first, and then he was like, "Wait a minute, that's my wife." Walked up on stage, smacked the mess out of Chris Rock, and then yelled some obscenities when he sat back down in his chair. Just took the whole thing off track. Chris Rock, being a professional, kept going. And it was just it just took over the Oscars. And then like 30 minutes later, Will Smith wins an Oscar for best actor in a leading role for his role as Richard Williams, the Williams sisters' father in King Richard, the movie. So yeah, just a whole mess of things. I'm not going to talk about Will's wife. I'm not, I don't understand the whole situation, but Chris Rock made a joke. Will Smith took some exception. Walked up on stage and smacked Chris Rock in front of everyone.
Did they ruin the Oscars?
I don't think they ruined the Oscars. I think it just took away from everything else.
Was it real or fake?
It was definitely real.
I think it was real as well.
I don't care what anybody says. That was not staged. You watch the slow-mo, he actually slaps him. Like, there's contact. Chris Rock was startled. He was like, what just happened? Will Smith, not that big of a cusser. And he was yelling it.
The
people around, like,
legit.
You see like the camera like on Will Smith, the people around Will Smith are like concerned. They're like, what just happened? Like, the entire Oscars went silent. And that, like, when they do skits, like, you do skits in an award show, normally they try to make it funny or like profound or something. Not that.
When they do skits, people don't have to question if they're fake or if they're real or staged.
You could pretty much tell. But buddy.
I do not think I think it was pretty real. I think the whole thing yesterday was pretty real. And the way that like Chris Rock reacted, like you said, where then he like didn't know what was gonna come next.
Mm-hmm.
Like his arms, he had no idea if Will was about to deck him again, or if what was going on.
Whatever.
Nothing.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. But you watch like Chris Rock as Will Smith's walking up to him. And Chris Rock just kind of like has his hand, like, he was doing the speech thing. He kind of has hands back and he's kind of like, he's like, "Oh, hey, Will, what's up? What's going on?" And then just gets smacked. And if you watch the slow mo, he kind of when he got smacked, he like balls up his fist and like kind of brings his arms up like he's about to fight, and he puts him down. He's like, I'm not gonna fight. I'm presenting an award. I'm not gonna do this. And it's just a whole mess.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well.
What is happening between you two right now?
You know what we were talking about right before we went on?
That's what we're talking about.
What he was referring to.
This guy.
Oh
goodness. What do you? Okay, be careful what you say.
Vershawn.
Be careful what you say.
It's calm down.
Vershawn.
Listen, you got 7 weeks to get in shape.
I got 7 weeks to get in shape.
7 weeks to be as
the best I can be.
The best Nick that you.
I know a 10-week program.
7 weeks, baby.
I need
Anybody
7.
Want to get in there with us? 7 weeks.
I have 7 weeks to. This could go for some speculation on the text line here. 402-464-5675.
100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. Do some. You can do all this here in the station during your workday. You can do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, some other stuff, and that'll help you. And then you go outside, you do whatever else workouts you want to do.
7 weeks.
I got chest and shoulders today, stair stepper tomorrow, back.
Listen, don't worry about all that old pretty stuff.
Okay.
Just push-ups.
Just push-ups. That's going to get me ready in 7 weeks.
7 weeks you do.
Really?
You do 100 every day. Your body's going to transform.
I'll join you, Nick.
Wow.
7 weeks.
I've done 100 a day.
Cut the meat out.
I've done 100
yeah,
a day.
I can't do that.
You've done 100 win a day.
I've just done it today.
Yeah,
we did, and I feel good.
Right?
Do I look good?
Yeah.
I feel a little tighter.
A little tighter, a little stronger.
The short sleeve hoodie's a little smaller.
Shoulders a little broader. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 7 weeks, baby. Listen, this gonna be a completely different guy.
Yeah. Get ready.
Forget that, Rico.
Get ready.
I'm gonna join.
7 weeks.
I'm gonna do it.
That's all I got.
Weeks. So this time next week will be like 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yes, the countdown is on. 7 weeks.
All right. Thanks, VJ.
Oh, it's your boy.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
All right. So I got 7 weeks to get in the best shape of my life. Okay. So let's see. How far did Nick get in his last 10-week challenge? So
probably the same as me.
No. I got through.
Did you get a little further or not?
Yeah, I got a little further.
Because I went 5.
I had to stop though.
And a half.
I want to say I got a little over halfway, but
yeah, 5.
Yeah, very close to you. Very similar. And here's why. It's gonna sound like an excuse, so go ahead and call it.
It's 100% an excuse.
100% an excuse.
Ooh, my bad. Didn't mean to do that.
I did not enjoy going to bed at 2 a.m. from doing homework and then getting up at 5:30 to go work out.
It's called dedication.
6 days a week. Yeah, you got to be a special kind of dedicated to.
Yeah, I had the perfect time. I hadn't missed a day in 5 weeks. I was showing up at 8:30, I believe it was. And then KJ was born, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go at 6.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go at 6. It'll be all right. And I went. Then I missed a day. Then I went, and then I missed 2 days, and then it was just over from there. Like I missed 2. I missed once you miss like a day, like a consecutive days, it just throws everything off. Hard. And I was like, yep, I'm done.
Yeah, and I regret it though. I regret it every day, and I really enjoyed it. Like I authentically enjoyed the fair.
Fun.
Like I seriously enjoyed it.
I kept every time we did kicks.
Good.
Every time we did kickboxing, I always tried to knock the bag over.
Yeah,
I never did. I got real close. I never knocked it over. But one of the guys that I would go with, he works at Huddle. He would routinely knock his over on his kicks. He's a big guy.
Yeah, no, I actually really enjoyed it. I wish I could. The timing just didn't work, and so that's the way it goes. Okay, so my pest of the weekend: people that hate Cinderella runs. I can't find the tweet, but I saw a tweet from a ESPN personality over the weekend after the St. Peter's and North Carolina game that said something along the lines of, "This is why I hate Cinderella runs, because they provide low-level games late in the tournament." Meaning their thought process is that if a higher seed goes on to play North Carolina in the Elite Eight, that it's going to be more competitive a game than it is against St. Peter's. That's my pest, because that is something that makes March Madness like no other postseason.
Yeah.
Because you have this team that their coach is getting paid just over $200,000 to coach, and he
not tops anymore.
Yeah, well, there's a chance he's not even at St. Peter's next year. Let's be real.
Oh no, apparently he's going to Seton Hall. Like that's almost done deal. Like I guess they were talking to him during while the run was going on. So
think about that. Like you're at St. Peter's and you're a 15 seed. thinking there's no way, and you knock off Calipari in Kentucky, and then you continue to beat teams, including Purdue and Matt Painter, who Purdue can't ever close out in the NCAA tournament.
Purdue, no, it's garbage.
And somebody says that's a pretty good point. At no moment was St. Peter's ever in that game. Yes, but that's like, here's the thing though. You don't want it to be not traditional. That's not the right word, but just cookie cutter. Like you don't want
one seeds every year.
It's not exciting when one seeds beat or are all playing if there's 4 1 seeds in the Final Four, unless there were some good games along the way where they just showed out that we are much better than the rest of the field.
And I mean, this is kind of a dumb argument because people could easily poke holes in it, but at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, if St. Peter's beat Kentucky, was Kentucky ever going to be in that game against North Carolina? And I know you could say, yeah, exactly. Of course they were, because it's Kentucky. But like, look, you lost. If you're so much better than that 15 seed, if you're a 2 seed, if you're an 8 seed, whatever, and you're so much better than that 15 seed, then win.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't care if you think that a 15 seed later in the tournament isn't going to give you a good game later in the tournament. That's one game. Guess what? They had one. The higher seeds had one game to beat that lower seed, and they didn't. So you just have to deal with it.
It's not like they should have won. They should have won. So it's a little different. Well, I don't know. How different is the argument with the games going down to one, or the season coming down to one game in college basketball? Because, for example, Major League Baseball, people were frustrated with the one wild card game, because their 162 game season came down to one game. Now with basketball, it's different because there's smaller numbers.
Yeah.
And there's just matchups. Like Kentucky should have blown St. Peter's out the room.
Look, there's no way Kentucky should have lost to St. Peter's.
No, exactly. And there's no way that Purdue should have lost to St. Peter's. And there's no way that
Purdue has a 7-footer. Like, St. Peter's doesn't have that.
Like, there's always that matchup that you can go. So I think it's a different argument there, because with baseball, there's so many little things that you have to do correctly, and with other sports as well, obviously. But with basketball, it's a lot about the matchups and a lot about the body types and just shooting ability at the end of the day. And with that, like, I just hated seeing that argument, because I'm sitting back thinking, this is what makes those first 2 days or that first weekend of March Madness so much fun to watch, is sitting here going, listen, there's no way a 3 seed should have any trouble beating a 14 seed, but you still stand here going, there's a chance that UNC Wilmington knocks off Purdue, or there's still a chance that St. Peter's beats Kentucky, like, or Mercer beats Duke. When coming in, there is no realistic reason for why they should even be competitive.
There's no way CJ McCollum and Lehigh should have knocked off Duke.
Exactly.
There's no way Florida Gulf Coast should have made the Sweet 16. There's no way Oral Roberts should have made it. There's no way Loyola Chicago should have beat Illinois last season. There's no way George Mason should have made that amazing run back in the day. Like, there are so many things like you just cut out. Like, so many March Madness it's March basketball memories. Like,
it's not March Madness.
Like, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that sometimes the lower seed wins. And if you're tired of it, then maybe the higher seed should just be better. I know you only had 2 losses on the season, but guess what? You just lost to a St. Peter's team. You just lost to Peacocks.
The money that St. Peter's is about to roll in.
Yeah, and it's good for the schools.
Transformative. Like, transformative. We've talked about this. They're going to get over $100 million.
It happens every year where a team goes on a miracle run, enrollment skyrockets for that place, and the school gets a whole bunch more money. Florida Gulf Coast, when they went on that run, so many people enrolled in Florida. Loyola,
Chicago?
No, not Chicago. No, not Loyola. University of Maryland, UMBC.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
the Retrievers or whatever. I'm sure enrollment skyrocketed for them after they beat Virginia. Like, it's good for the schools. It's good for the the lower seeded schools to go out and upset somebody. And maybe it's not good for your viewing pleasure, but I enjoyed it a lot. And I was hoping that they could beat North Carolina. Unfortunately, their miracle fluid ran out, and they couldn't handle it. They didn't have MJ's magic stuff.
Yeah. Great storyline though for St. Peter's. Like I said, the money that they're going to roll in or rake in is just transformative for the university. Head coach heading off to Seton Hall. And like just the team, Doug, like the storyline, the players,
it's awesome.
With the ugly mustache, but the Buffalo Wild Wings deal now, like things like that are just awesome that they came out of the NCAA tournament. So my pest of the weekend are people that hate Cinderella runs and decide to take their stupid takes to Twitter and voice them. So once again, Pest of the Weekend brought to you by Bats to Rats. Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Call Dane to help get rid of any bat or rodent problem at 402-310-0904 or go online to batstoRats.com. All right, let's go ahead and take an early break. When we come back, we'll dive in. Me and Rico and Nathan went to Husker baseball against Michigan over the weekend. We all kind of hung out, and there was a couple things that stood out to me personally, and I'm sure to Rico as well. Just they're just not doing a couple things right. Like they're just coming up short in a couple areas and not doing some of the things that made them such a fun and exciting team to watch last year. So we'll kind of dive deep on Husker baseball. We'll also touch on Husker softball. They topped number 19 Michigan in a basically a 2-game series. The third game got canceled on the weekend, and so they take 2 games on the road at number 19 Michigan. They return home to play Creighton tomorrow night. We'll touch on that, and then also Dylan Raiola is now the number 1 overall prospect in the 2024 class. Does Nebraska have a shot? We'll touch on that coming up next on Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In baseball on Thursday, Lincoln East decimated Lincoln High 11-0. Cameron Tennert was the star of the game with 3 hits and 4 RBIs. Lincoln North Star won over Norfolk 11-4, and Lincoln Southeast beat Grand Island 7-5. In track, Lincoln Pius X showed up in a big way during the Northeast Relays on Thursday. The boys won 4 events and the girls won 6. Reese Crossroad won the boys long jump and triple jump for the Bolts. Kate Campos for Lincoln Pius won the 100-meter hurdles with a time of 15.02 seconds. Lincoln East Sam Capos won the discus and shot put. In coaching news, Lincoln Southeast has announced a new wrestling coach. Braden Willis, currently an assistant wrestling coach at UNK and former wrestler at UNK, will take over as head coach next season. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced, with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsurancene.com.
Have you ever wanted to build a catapult? Have you ever wanted to launch something other than water balloons with a water balloon launcher? Do you want to be a national champion? Then you need to get a team and sign up for the National Avocado Launching Championship, May 21st in North Platte. That's right, the National Avocado Launching Championship is taking place right here in Nebraska. Launch avocados for fame and glory. Sign up at avocadolaunching.com. That is avocadolaunching.com. And remember, the top prize is $5,000.
I'm Jenny Benson. I taught for 32 years. Educators are used to the challenges of a typical school year, but the last year plus was far from typical. Yet everyone leaned in and found creative ways to adapt, innovate, and persevere. Behind each student were resourceful families and dedicated educators who reached out with open arms of support. Because of all the ways we work together, our students continued to learn, grow, and thrive.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
An Empire Fence is an investment in your home. This year, use your tax return to make that investment. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and security while improving the appearance of your home. Visit empire-fence.com to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home. With your tax return on the way, schedule your project now. Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Every time the back door closes, it squeaks and reminds me of how I used to go out back for a cigarette 2-3 times a day. When I was stressed, when I was hungry, when I was bored. But then I think of how the stale taste lingered in my mouth, and I reach into my purse and pop a stick of gum. And the craving is gone.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico with you. Woohoo! Hello, Rico.
Hi. You good?
we're fine. We are fine.
I love when we just have these veiled conversations on the air. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
I wish we could. I could. No, we don't.
We could.
No, it's way too. No.
We can make stuff up.
Way too delicate. Yes.
Act like it would get back to the situation.
What if?
At hand.
Yeah.
I don't think it would.
I think it would be delicate. We could always bring Nathan in.
We could,
but hopefully people find out soon enough.
7 weeks.
7 weeks.
In 7 weeks.
That's all we need.
In 7 weeks, you will all find out what we were talking about
that
right
day.
Now.
That day.
So mark your calendars. 7 weeks from today. Ask us on the air.
I know this,
and we'll let you know.
I know this is really bad radio, so I apologize.
No, I don't care. We'll let you know 7 weeks from today. I need everybody on the text line right now, 402-464-5685, to text in marked.
What day?
To let me know that you marked it down. That
7
weeks from today, you will ask us, hey,
4,
what
5, 6. Holy
what were you
cow.
guys talking about on that day back in March?
7 weeks to the day is May 16th.
I'll let you guys know.
That's a far ways to wait.
It is.
In for the long haul.
I believe in you.
We're here for the long
Time
haul.
to get in shape, baby.
Time to work out. Woo! Get swole. Anybody needs Qdoba guy says, Mark, you guys can count on me. What will really be bad?
Time to look like a Division I athlete.
What will really be bad, Rico, is if like we forget it's like it's all in the past, like whatever. And then in 7 weeks somebody asks, I'm like, oh man.
Dude, that would be terrible if the situation took a left turn. 7 weeks from today, we'd be like, oh, damn.
Remember how excited and happy we were?
Hey, Eric, I'm assuming that bleep you guys means love you guys. So you know what? I love you too, Eric.
Jeremy, Jay, and Lincoln. I'm guessing Eric's got it marked. They all got it marked.
All
so
right. Good job. 7 weeks from today.
Please don't take a left turn.
Please take a right turn.
Please. Nick hits somebody just goes, Nick hits dingers when he gets stolen for Parks and Rec softball. Well, let's hope. Maybe I should put a huddle highlight together.
Ooh.
That would be smart.
You an athlete.
I do play slow pitch softball. Do you not know? Do you not know?
I'm kind of a big deal.
I'm kind of a slow pitch softball player. I play in 2 leagues.
I believe in you. Let's get to baseball talk.
Yes, let's do it. All right, so 402-464-5685. A lot of concern swirling around the Husker baseball program right now just because they're not winning.
No.
Like Friday night was, I guess you could say, encouraging because they won.
After you gave up 4 straight hits for home runs?
4 straight home runs.
Well, yeah.
4 straight home runs. And they won. They got 1-0 in the Big Ten after a win against Michigan. Now Nebraska was picked first to finish first in the conference. Michigan was picked to finish second in the conference, and unfortunately, they just didn't back it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was against a Michigan team that was allowing over 7 runs per game in their last 2 weeks of baseball. And their pitching staff was not playing well, and they beat their best pitcher on Friday night, their day one starter. They do all the little things right for a short moment of time, and they're just not able to back them up, whether that's finding offense, whether that's pitching. Chris Basnett had a tweet. I should look it up. Chris Basnett had a tweet on Sunday that when me and Rico and Nathan were sitting there watching Huskers baseball, and they gave up a couple runs in the first couple innings. I need to find it here. Okay.
It was 3 runs in the first 2 innings.
Yes. So,
right, because it was 2 runs in the first, a solo shot in the second.
Okay, here it is.
Was it the second?
This was the tweet by Chris Basnett in the bottom of the second inning during Sunday's game. Nebraska trails in the first 2 innings for the 6th straight game. Michigan scores twice on a pair of hits, a hit by pitch and an RBI ground out. 2-0 Wolverines going into the bottom of the second. Nebraska trails in the first 2 innings for the 6th straight game.
Goodness gracious.
And obviously Will Bolt, Lance Harvell, Christie, and the whole coaching staff will tell you that's not a key to success. Everybody can tell you that. But at the end of the day, Nebraska's having to worry about their guys getting out of the first 4 innings on the mound.
Starting pitching has been a struggle this season for Nebraska baseball. They just can't. If their starters could go 5-6 innings, that would be pretty good. But they're getting 3, 4. They're not getting any type of production from their starting pitching, and that's what's leading into them being down. And when you're down by so many runs, it doesn't matter if you have some type of offensive explosion because it's too far gone by then.
Well, you're digging yourself a hole right out of the gate. as so okay, I don't know if anybody saw it. Sidebar. I don't know if anybody saw DP's tweet about the football player and the kicking it through the upright. The basketball
player has made an appearance.
Has come and is sitting
on
the
back
table.
Let's see if Mark can do it.
Can Mark do it? Buckets. They're like Teddy Allen in there.
Baby.
It's like Teddy Allen in there.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so back to Husker baseball. But you're basically, you look up and you're 30 minutes into game time and you're already facing a 2-0 deficit or a 3-0 deficit against a team that was picked to finish second in the Big Ten and where you personally, your guys aren't hitting well. Like they aren't scoring a lot of runs. And they come in on Friday off of that 21-4 loss against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and you wonder how they're going to respond. They put up a good showing offensively, but once again, defense boots it around and just not doing the little things right. I said it last week, and I'll continue to say it. You can weather the hits. It's the walks in the airs, and we saw it on Sunday. There was a time at one point when I was sitting next to Rico, and it was guys on first and second, and they walked with two outs in an inning. I believe it was still a tie ball game, so it was around the fourth inning. That Nebraska, they walked they got 2 outs, so nobody's on base with 2 outs. They walk the next 2 batters, and they allow a double to the right center field gap, and both those runs score. Once again, you can weather that RBI or that RBI double if you don't allow the free bases. If you don't boot the ball around, you just keep routine plays routine. Don't try to do too much. Don't try to look too flashy. If you just keep it boring old baseball, you can weather the singles. You can weather the bloop hits you just kind of tip your cap and say that's a baseball kind of play. Like that just happens. But when you walk multiple guys in an inning, you're asking for 1 base hit, and that's going to tear apart. That's going to tear apart your inning. You're a quality inning for a pitcher.
Nebraska baseball is in a fragile place right now where they have been giving free passes to teams left and right, whether it come from a walk, whether it come from a hit by pitch, whether it come from an error. And once that happens, something in their minds doesn't go right. And that's when they give up untimely hits for them, timely hits for the opponent. And that's how they find themselves down by 2-3 runs every 3 innings. Like no matter how explosive their offense is, their defense right now is going to lose them more games than win them games. They just can't get out of their own way on the defensive side of things. The things last year that everyone took for granted, the routine plays, just a routine grounder up the middle that the second baseman or the shortstop grabs and slings over to first base. Those plays aren't being made. A grounder down the third base line, it's getting booted away by the third baseman. The shortstop's missing the play. It's going into left field. It's just the routine things that we saw every day last year for this baseball team that you're like, oh yeah, that's okay. That's good job. This year, it's ending up in the grass.
Well, and to that point, or to that example that I made a couple minutes ago where they walked 2 guys, they did the same thing on Saturday. It's repeating this dumb mistakes and repeating the things that you can control. And in this case right now with Husker baseball, they're repeating the bad things and not repeating the good things. Because there are flashes. There are flashes of this team being able to lay down a bunt. Luke Sartori, I played against Luke Sartori in high school, and the guy's got a cannon from center field, and he can run as well. It's like you got to get guys on before him so he can do his job, lay down a bunt, whether that's for a hit or he's just sacrificing the guy over. Do the job, establish the angle with the bat, and get it to a place where the pitcher, like if you're going to bunt for a base hit, if you're Luke Sartori, obviously like try to get into that little sweet spot between the pitcher, the first baseman, and the second baseman, where all 3 of those guys are caught in no man's land, basically, where they're deciding and they have to make a decision split second on whether or not to convene on the ball, which is a problem because then that vacates first base, or make them make a play, basically, where you once again you tip your cap if they're able to communicate, or if that first baseman is able to be disciplined enough to not run after the ball if the pitcher has an angle towards first base. Like, it's those little things where you have to put and apply pressure on the defense. And that's one of the very few instances. But like with a guy like Luke Sartori, think about it, where if they have a guy on first base or a guy on second base with less than 2 outs, you can bunt it. If there's a guy on second base with less than 2, hit it down the third baseline, make that third baseman charge. But once again, that's all about doing the little things like establishing an angle with your bat. Because if you bunt it down to the third or right to the pitcher, like it happened a couple weeks times this weekend, that totally negates the purpose. Like you're not going to allow that guy at second to either advance because he's going to be able to read speed and direction off the bat, or you're going to get him thrown out at third. If the pitcher is smart enough, he can turn around, pivot, and just throw right to third base. Because once again, you're not making or forcing the defense to make a decision in a split second. All the split seconds decisions we talk about in baseball and how detrimental they can be. If you're taking that pressure or that job away from the third baseman to decide whether or not he should convene on the ball and charge, which would vacate third base, or if he's just able to step back and cover third base because the pitcher's got it because the batter decided not to establish an angle or get a bunt down in a good direction or speed or anything like that, well, then you're negating the whole purpose of the sacrifice bunt or bunting for a hit, whichever one you're going for.
You're just butting into an out, whether it be yourself or be the man on second.
You're sacrificing your like you're not even sacrificing. You're giving up your at bat, and that's where it's like in baseball, in softball, and a lot of other sports, like you can win games by just doing your job, like just doing the I don't want to say bare minimum, but just the
small things.
Basic necessities of playing the sport. You win a game. And it's not easy, so I don't want to get my words twisted into what I'm saying is like, oh, well, why aren't they doing it? It's super easy, because it's not, especially when a guy's hucking 90 miles an hour at you. But one thing I will say,
with some movement.
Yeah, exactly, with some movement. And that's part of, like, somebody said on the text line something about the offense is dead if they can't get their leadoff batter on. Bingo, that's a good point there. Ed said this, they walked a guy when they had a shift on him. And he's right. I will also say this, like the strike zone was like not good all weekend, especially Friday and Sunday, I will say.
Dude, Sunday was weird.
Yeah. Like
I don't know. Both teams were getting frustrated with the home plate umpire. I don't know what he was doing.
So like obviously you have to fight through that. But with baseball, you can pitch to contact and get outs if you have a reliable defense. And unfortunately, right now, the pitchers don't necessarily feel like they can pitch to contact. Like you are like, if you're a pitcher, you're not trying to strike every guy out. That's why a lot of guys that don't throw in the 90s have success, is because they spot pitches where they know they can just pitch to contact. And by pitching to contact, it's not leaving a change up at the belt like that happened a couple times yesterday or throughout the weekend, I should say. It's pitching to contact, throwing at the knees, getting ground balls, or getting a guy to extend his arms too early and pop up. Like it's things like that where if you have a reliable defense, that's why they had so much success last year. Like Nebraska last year against Arkansas, if you remember, Nebraska let them hit. Like Nebraska was letting Arkansas hit. And
they weren't trying to strike them out.
Part of that's like just because Arkansas is a good team, but they were okay with them making contact because it was spot, like they were hitting spots, whether it was KP or whether it was Schwellenbach or even Jake Buns, who unfortunately threw a couple in the dirt that cost Nebraska, but they were hitting spots and they trusted their defense to make routine plays, whether that's just a routine fly ball or a routine double play. Like it's little things like that will win you baseball games. And they won't be pretty, they'll be boring, but at the end of the day, you're going to look up at the end of the season and go, man, we're in first place in the Big Ten. And we're second to last in the country in errors.
It's really
like it's boring stuff.
It'd be much better to win a game 3-1 with a couple sacrifice bunts and a couple, singles and maybe sprinkle in a double and no home runs than lose a game 7-6 and you have 3 bombs. Like, yeah, I'd rather get the win. I'm gonna be honest.
And it stinks because you do, like I said, you see flashes. You see Griffin Everett having a great season this year, and you see Bryce Matthews offensively having a good year. And there's a lot of players to be excited about, like Garrett Anglem, who's a freshman, and Core Jackson from Ontario, who's a freshman. Like,
careful.
There's a lot of things to be excited about, but I would much rather be excited about them when they are allowing less than 7 runs a ball game, or they're not trailing
6 straight games.
Yeah, 6 straight games in the first 2 innings, and you're having to dig yourself and come from behind before the game even gets going.
That is a lot of stress for the beginning of the game.
Well, it's like it puts a lot of pressure on your bullpen that's already lost one of their arms in Jake Buns. Like, it puts a lot of pressure on your bullpen to go out and shut down in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and even 7th right now, when you feel like you cannot allow any runs. There's no room for error. There's no wiggle room because your offense, unfortunately, just doesn't get the job done on a consistent basis.
You get in the game as a reliever. If one guy gets on base, it's almost a complete failure because it's just terrifying because you never know what's going to happen next. Because if somebody hits a ball, if somebody hits not a routine but kind of a harder ground ball at up middle towards on the corners or whatever, you don't know if that play is going to be made. I could get out into the grass and all of a sudden the guy on first is on third or running home.
Yeah. So I just think
the small things are killing this team.
Yeah. And the things that we not took for granted last year, but just kind of looked over because they were doing so many of the fun and exciting things well on a consistent basis, like moving guys over. Like, nobody thought about that whole explanation I just gave about just making a first baseman, a second baseman, and a pitcher decide, and even throw into the catcher. You're making 4 guys having to be on the same page in the matter of a split second decision. Like, nobody talked about that last year because it was just being done.
It just happened.
And so, like, little things like that will win you Big Ten championships. And there's still time, but unfortunately now they're staring at a 1-2 record in the Big Ten Conference. They're staring at a below 500 record overall, and they need to do something quick before their season gets out of hand and they fail to make the NCAA tournament. Like, that's where we're at. That is where we're at. One team that is not lacking on the little things well and doing having a lot of fun winning, Husker softball. We'll talk about them and do Nick trivia for $15 to the Upside Bar and Lounge. All up next on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Ticket listeners, it's Cristiano Simonetta, the voice of the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and I for Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. talking Stars, hockey, and more. Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m.
If your home water doesn't taste right, look right, or smell right, just call Bryant for the solution to your water problem. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Every time the back door closes, it squeaks and reminds me of how I used to go out back for a cigarette 2-3 times a day when I was stressed, when I was hungry, when I was bored. But then I think of how the stale taste lingered in my mouth, and I reach into my purse and pop a stick of gum. And the craving is gone.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Today on Hey Culligan, why does your team stink? Here's Coach Waters.
Hey Culligan, yeah, my team stinks.
Ooh, harsh.
No, I mean they stink. They won't hit the showers because it makes their skin all dry and itchy.
Coach, it sounds like your guys have been hit hard by hard water.
You kidding me? Hard water?
Yep, so let's call an audible in the form of one Culligan Smart High Efficiency Water Softener to get the smooth back in their skin and the stink out of your team.
Okay, Culligan, I'm putting you in.
Coach, we're already on the way.
Go to CulliganLincoln.com and schedule your free water test today.
The
Home Builders Association of Lincoln and Bombers Garage are proud to sponsor this year's Cruisin' for the Trades car show on May 1st. It's the first major car show of the season, and they have 20 plus big trophies for muscle cars, old cars, classics, trucks and bikes, EVs, and anything in between. Register your car today at hbal.org and enter into as many categories as you wish for the show at SCC's campus at 88th and O. Proceeds from the event go to the Lincoln Home Builders Care Foundation to support careers in construction. Register today at hbal.org.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsurancene.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. Springtime is here, and that means you're outside more in nice weather and maybe even having garage parties with neighbors. The drink of this spring and summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs and 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Have you ever wanted to build a catapult? Have you ever wanted to launch something other than water balloons with a water balloon launcher? Do you want to be a national champion? Then you need to get a team and sign up for the National Avocado Launching Championship, May 21st in North Platte. That's right, the National Avocado Launching Championship is taking place right here in Nebraska. Launch avocados for fame and glory. Sign up at avocadolaunching.com. That is avocadolaunching.com. And remember, the top prize is $5,000.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Partly cloudy skies and seasonable conditions will top out near 55. Southeast winds gusting over 20 at times. Increasing cloud cover tonight with a low of 38. By late tomorrow afternoon, we'll warm up to 77, but see a chance of late afternoon showers and thunderstorms moving into the region. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to The Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Nick and Rico back with you. Final segments. We bring in Nathan. Hello, Nate.
How we doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm trying to figure out how to get on the stream.
Okay, so just put Nathan in the display name, and
Make
then
sure it's
hit
muted.
Hit mute. Enter studio, and you are there.
People see my beautiful face. Get this right here.
They can't.
Oh, I got my Lincoln Stars hockey shirt on.
Go Stars!
Go Stars, baby!
They're on a 6-game winning streak.
Best team in hockey.
Should we
throw them in the AHL?
All of hockey?
Should we?
Honestly, if they became an AHL team, that would be awesome. That would be.
Do they have a home series this weekend?
I'm not sure. You know who does though?
Who?
Husker softball.
Husker softball.
That's right. Okay, so Nick, trivia question. We can't talk too much about Husker softball until we give the trivia question. So, Billie Andrews leads the nation in home runs. How many does she have? 402-464-5685. Go ahead and get your Googling fingers going. Billie Andrews, how many home runs does she have?
Leads the country.
How many home runs does she have this season She leads the country in dingers. So
long ball Andrews,
which is honestly crazy because she's a sophomore too.
So she's only going to get better. You good?
Only going to get better.
Did you hear that scrape?
Yes, I think there might have been like a crumb of something underneath there. So I don't know.
Something scraped my laptop.
Sad day.
Yeah. So 402-464-5685. Call in $15 to the Upside Bar and Lounge. Bach will answer your phone call. So I have a feeling that it's going to take a second because people are going to Twitter.
You gotta Google it.
Google that and all that. But Nathan, Husker softball playing well. 21
Playing really well.
21-9. Just took 2 games from 19th ranked Michigan last weekend.
2-0 in the Big Ten. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get them ranked yet, but they have Rutgers this weekend. And I think if they sweep, they got to be in the discussion, right? Because then you're sitting at 24-9. You're undefeated in the Big Ten. They look good. Pitching's been great. They lead in a ton of statistical categories for batting. I don't know all the stats at the top of my head, but
yeah.
I mean, it's not just Billy. I mean, the offense has been rolling. They're deep. They're 9 deep. It's a fun team to watch, and I know baseball has had their own struggles. So if you're looking for a team to hop on, I mean, it's not too late to get on the softball bandwagon.
Across the walkway.
Literally right across the walkway.
Yeah, we were walking out of Haymarket or Hawks Field the other day, and Nathan goes, "Yeah, I didn't realize Bowling Stadium is right there.
Literally right there.
It is right there.
If it's anything,
it's not even a jaunt.
If it's anything like Nebraska women's basketball, they won't be ranked, no matter how well they do.
Well,
Oh
so
my gosh,
I saw
that was
something. So
ridiculous.
Nate Rohr, the play-by-play guy for their radio, tweeted out something today. They're 36th in the country in RPI, but the 6th team in the Big Ten in RPI.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're not getting ranked.
So they're
It's gonna be
yet.
dumb. It's
Not
gonna be
yet.
very dumb.
They need if they get a sweep this weekend, I think they'll be cooking.
all
a
right.
little bit.
Let's look at Rutgers.
Will they
a
be
little
in,
bit.
like,
Rutgers
receiving
ranking,
votes?
or
They'll probably
record.
be receiving. There's so many different polls too for baseball and softball.
I
It's
don't.
kind of
There's
frustrating.
there's no like one poll to
No,
go to,
no,
and I hate it.
There's not one to look at, so they might be
Ooh.
receiving votes in some polls. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so Rutgers is actually 22-12 overall.
There you go.
It's a
telling
pretty decent club. They
Pretty
are 1-2 in the conference. They lost 2 of 3 to Minnesota.
Okay.
So that's interesting. They have a midweek game tomorrow against Monmouth, and then Huskers play Creighton tomorrow night. So
It's a red out too. First
And
200 students get a free crew neck.
I just saw that too on their Instagram that the first 200 students, like you said, get a free crew neck.
Yep.
Have to have your end card if you're a student listening.
I'm not a student, but I want a crew neck.
I have an
somebody.
Same.
Can
I have-
somebody get me
I
one?
do have an end card.
Can somebody get me one?
I
I'm
kind of
asking
want a crew
any-
neck too.
I'm asking
So-
anybody listening, if you're a student, if
So-
you know a student who doesn't want a crew neck or is willing to get a crew neck for
We
for
will
an
give
op-
you a shout out on the radio.
an amazing
Absolutely.
radio host, I will give you a
Shout out.
T-shirt. I will give you a 93.7 The Ticket T-shirt and
Really?
a shout out on the radio
If you get a crew neck.
if I get a crew neck.
So I need to admit this. When women's basketball was playing, they were giving out their crew necks.
Oh yeah,
Really cool crew necks.
Did you get
well,
one?
I was not there as a student.
Oh,
Slip the media pass off,
finesse
grab
it.
my end card.
There you
So,
go.
hey man, listen, I didn't get
You're
one
a
when I walked
monster.
in.
you're a monster.
There was not 500
Says
students.
Maybe I
says
can-
the guy who got 2 bobbleheads.
I look like
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah.
college. I look like I'm in college.
Do you?
I'd be able to pull it off.
Okay.
Can I get a fake one?
I look like
Is
I'm
there
in high
someone who can
school.
make bootleg end
End
cards?
cards? I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Someone needs to figure that out for me. We need
Fake end cards.
card.
Forget fake
end
IDs.
card.
We need fake end cards.
Fake end card.
All right, we're done for today. Water cooler is next. By the way, Billy Andrews, 17 home runs this season. She leads the country. Pay attention to softball, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
Adios.
Shopping for